You know, my family is not the first to suffer such a terrible tragedy. Unfortunately, we've met a bunch. And to think that our state isn't looking for a way to protect grieving families is mind-boggling.
Gary Falkowitz and his family have been through hell, he says, since May 3rd last year, when the car his 14-year-old son Ethan and friend Drew Hassenbein were in was hit by a pickup truck driven by a man police say was drunk and speeding and going the wrong way down North Broadway in Jericho. There are 3 states that bar claims for grief and mental anguish caused by wrongful deaths: Alabama, Delaware, and New York. Falkowitz was surprised, to say the least, that the current New York State statute allows civil court judgments only for monetary loss or the potential earning loss of the deceased, which would exclude children and others not working.
The more I thought about it, the more it dawned on me that it was pretty ludicrous that something like this didn't exist.
Bipartisan bill with wide support in Albany, called the Grieving Families Act, would allow families to recover damages for emotional suffering. But just before the new year, Governor Hochul vetoed the Grieving Families Act for the 2nd year in a row.
The governor is putting businesses and insurance companies ahead of victims.
Governor Hochul says the statute must be updated, but the proposed act would lead to increased insurance premiums for the vast majority of consumers.
I wake up and I still think that this is a nightmare. So I'm very grateful for my wife and my other kids. But I'll have a hole in my heart for the rest of my life.
Gary Falkowitz says he will do anything in his power to fight for the Grieving Families Act.
I will be a voice and a face to this change. I know it's the right thing to do. And anything on behalf of my son will always be a great guide for me.
Steve Langford for Newsday TV.